Hey guys, in this video we are going to be solving problems from page 359 of your textbook, and this is in preparation for your quizzes that are coming up. So the first problem here you see is a square root of a negative number, and if you tried this in your calculator, you will get various error messages like does not exist, math error 1, math error 2, domain error are some of the messages I have seen. The reason is that this negative 49, you can never express it as a product of two numbers and get the negative at the same time. For example, if you tried negative 7, that is plus 49, doesn't work. And negative 49, you can never express it as 7 times 7 either. So square root of negative numbers simply does not exist. TNE. I'm going to jump ahead here. Look at this problem here. Here you have a fourth root, and that is a even number, just like the 2 that you had here. This 4 is an even number. The same situation here as well. So anytime you're finding a square root or a fourth root or a sixth root or an eighth root, you won't get an answer, and we write the answer as DNE to indicate that such an answer does not exist. What about the second problem here? You can write 27 as negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, and since there are 3 of them, the final answer would be a negative 3. For questions like the D, you notice there are two things we need to take care of. One, the power on top, which is square, and the fraction denominator here, that is a cube. So you got to do it in stages. And on your quiz and test, I expect that you show all the stages, otherwise you will not get any marks, or you might get at best a quarter mark out of this, because I need to be able to see that you understand what you're doing. So as a first step, we are going to do the cube root right there, and then we are going to square it. So the cube root of 64 is 4, and that is because it's 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. So we have 4 to the power of 2. Now the final evaluation, 4 to the power of 2, is a 16. So what about 9 to the power of 3 over 2? So 9 to the power of 3 over 2, again, let's do it in stages. So we have 9 to the power of half, that is from the denominator here, to the power of 3. So you have 9 to the power of half is really the square root of 9, which is a 3. And you have 3 to the power of 3. And you're expected to show all these steps to get your final answer as 27. What about problems of this kind? Similar and more of the same, really, just practice stuff. 64 to the cube root to the power of 4. The cube root of 64 is a 4, which is 4 times 4 times 4. We have 4 to the power of 4, and if you punch that into your calculator, you get 256. Same idea here. 32 to the power of 4 over 5. Oh, sorry. Let's delete that. And so this is, let's do the fifth root first, and then to the power of 4. So the fifth root of 32 is a 2. 2 to the power of 4 is a 16. Now I'm going to change this problem around. I'm going to change this problem to negative 32, but we are having a negative power. So how will that change the whole thing? So the whole thing will change just by this one here. So you see that negative there, the negative will carry over there, the negative will carry over here, and I'm going to use one of the exponent rules that you learned, where when you have a negative exponent, then that goes to the denominator, becomes a positive exponent, and the final answer would be 1 over 16. Coming to the fraction here, operates just like before. In this case, you're going to apply the square root, the 2 there, both to the numerator and to the denominator. So square root of 25 is a 5, square root of 16 is a 4, and then you still have to work with the power 3, and 5 to the power 3 is 125, and 4 to the power 3 is 64. There's only one difference between the previous problem and this, in that we have a negative sign. So let's do the cube root inside the bracket first. Cube root of 27 is a 3, cube root of 64 is a 4, and then we have a negative 2. So the negative is going to make the fraction upside down. It's going to flip it. And you also have to do the square. So let's do it step by step here. So we have the 9. When you square the 9, sorry, we have a 3, and when you square the 3, we have a 9. Because it's negative, it's no longer in the numerator, it goes to the denominator. You have a 4, and you have 4 to the power of 2 there, that is 16. The denominator now goes to the numerator, and that becomes 16 over 9. Okay, hopefully this was helpful, and see you in the next video.